recently we tested the Mitsubishi Outlander, and if you haven't watched that review, make sure you click on that and you can see the full detailed review on that one. But what we did talk about during that review was a different version of the Outlander that we wanted to drive, and we have it here today, and that's the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, plug-in hybrid EV vehicle. So I've wanted to drive this for a while, but every time it just never worked out. And why? Is because a lot of people don't know this is the best-selling PHEV in the world. That's right. A lot of you might have only just heard about this vehicle or seen it just recently. It's because it's been available overseas for probably about 5 years, and it just recently just came over to our shores just last year in 2018. And since it's arrived here, it's been enjoying sales increases month after month after month. And one of the main reasons for that is, well, on the West Coast here, we have the highest price for gasoline in North America. It's currently at around $1.70 per liter. It's expected to reach $2 very, very soon. So yeah, it's expensive to drive here in the Lower Mainland and in the Vancouver area. But just as of May 1st, the federal government released a new rebate for EVs and PHEVs, and this one qualifies, so he gets half of the rebate. So the full rebate is $5,000, and half is $2,500 that you can get off this vehicle, and that's on top of any other provincial rebates. So if you live in Quebec, you get quite a bit more off, and in BC, you get another $2,500 off. So that's $5,000 off the price of this PHEV, which is right there a good reason to look into one of these. Now, as you can hear, it's very, very quiet. We are in electric mode. When you start the vehicle up, it defaults to EV mode only, and it'll stay on EV mode until it's needed. You can go up to 120 kilometers an hour on EV, so there's no drawback there going in EV, plus you get that great torque. But if you need more power, if you press the accelerator down past 75%, it's going to kick in the gasoline engine. Now, it works two ways. The gasoline engine can power the front wheels as well as it can actually just generate power, and it does it seamlessly. So, and you don't even know what's happening other than looking at the display behind the steering wheel. Another reason the engine will kick on as well, though, is if it gets too cold outside, it will run that engine to produce some heat. Of course, it also has its own heater, but sometimes it's more efficient to collect heat from that gasoline engine rather than create heat itself from electric. There are also two modes you can choose on the gear selector, and that is one called Charge. So let's say if you're driving on the freeway and you're going to be going into the city, and in the city you want to make sure you have a lot of electricity because it's a lot of stop and go traffic, you can select Charge, and what that's going to do is it's going to use that gasoline engine and charge that battery while you're driving. And the other one is Save. It's basically the opposite of that. You're going to hit that and the gasoline engine is just going to be used predominantly, and it's going to save your electric power. Like I said, other than a little bit of a hum, you really don't know what mode you're really in. It's really seamless. Now, powering this is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, and it puts out 117 horsepower and 137 pound-feet of torque. It doesn't seem like a lot, but remember, a lot of times this is really working as a generator. And then you have two electric motors, one in the front, one in the back. They put out 80 horsepower each. The front one puts out 100 foot-pounds of torque, and the rear one puts out 141 pound-feet. And since you have that motor in the back as well, this does have the super all-wheel control, so it's all-wheel drive, and that is really, really what people want. Now, I've been saying this for a while now. I have a Toyota Highlander, and I've been waiting for Toyota to come out with a PHEV larger SUV. That would be something that I'd be interested in, and that's why so many people are interested in this, because it saves fuel, you can run it on electricity, and it's an SUV. Everybody wants SUVs right now. So what's the range? The specs say 35 kilometers of EV only range. That's not a whole bunch. I have noticed though, I think it goes by your driving pattern, but when I start it up in the morning, I get about 40 to 41 kilometers of EV range. That's what it's saying on the display. Now that's going to change depending on the conditions, if you have the heat on, if you have wipers on, all that stuff. But that's just a general idea. It also depends on if you're going up or down hills as well. Now if you're going down a hill, there are regenerative braking paddles behind the steering wheel. It defaults to number 2. There's 5 settings, and at 0, it's basically just coast. And at 5, we have right now, it's not really powerful, which is good, but it's not going to give you that one pedal driving experience that you have on EVs either. But if you're going down some large mountain passes, for instance, it'd be really good to have on for steep ones. Put it on 4 or 5, and you're going to regenerate a lot of energy back into the battery. Speaking of battery, it has a 12 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery, and depending on your home power, 110 takes anywhere from 8 hours to 13 hours to charge it full when it's empty. If you have a 220 or level 2 charger, you're looking at 3.5 hours for a full charge. And one unique thing, even though this is a PHEV, it does have the port for DC fast charging, and that's going to take you about 30 minutes, and it'll give you 80% of a charge. This model is, of course, the Outlander PHEV GT SAWC. So this is the top of the line trim, but even the standard ones get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto as standard equipment. This one's equipped with the moonroof, has radar cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane keeping assist, lane departure warning, heated leather seats, heated leather steering wheel. It is only half heated though, only on the sides, none on the top though. This is when these PHEVs or EVs are great. I am stuck in rush hour traffic first thing in the morning. It is very early. I'm on my way to the airport. And yeah, we're not really using any fuel, saving fuel. And what's our range right now? We have 28 kilometers of EV power to go. Now, one thing I've noticed driving this for the past week is how much range do I need? Of course, everyone's needs are going to change. But for myself, I live outside of Vancouver. My family, my parents, they live in an area in the valley, and it's about 40 kilometers. So that's usually as far as I go that way. And if I head into Vancouver, Vancouver is under 40 kilometers, it's 30 some odd kilometers. And if I go to the airport from my house, which is where I'm going right now, it is 38 kilometers. So all within reason, this could actually make it to all those places, depending on conditions, if not all the way on EV, most of the way on EV. And if I wanted to, I could look for a charger wherever I am and plug in and then head back the other way on EV only. So really, I could save a lot of fuel, and we've been using it just like our regular everyday use. This 35 to 40K, it's workable. Is it a lot? No. Would I wish it was more? Absolutely. I would love to see some more, but having just that 35K, it really takes the edge off of for fuel economy. It can really get that fuel economy down, and if there's a charger around, I'll go for it. I'm not going to go out of my way looking for a charger or waiting for a charger if it's busy, because this is a very thrifty engine anyways, and this hybrid system. So even without EV, it does get fairly good fuel economy. Another reason to get into a PHEV, a lot of provinces and states recognize these as HOV-friendly vehicles. So you can drive them in the HOV lane with a single occupant. Now, depending on where you live, if rush hour is bad, that is a good deal. Unfortunately, the road we're on here does not have an HOV. If there were, I'd be in it. Here's something kind of cool. We're driving to Vancouver Airport, and in their long-term lot, they actually have 10 charging stations. That's good, because I'm going to plug into one of them. But the odd thing, though, is this is a long-term lot. I'm only going to be there for 3 days. But a lot of other people are parked there for a week or more, and they're plugged in. within hours, their vehicle will be fully charged, and then they're just going to sit in that parking spot with the charger for all that time. So that part just doesn't make any sense to me.
We are gonna make a smoothie today in our car.
We're making a smoothie in our car. After a week of driving, this thing's been great, but one feature I did not tell you about is this is basically a rolling generator. So we're making a smoothie in the car. Okay, go ahead, let's put the stuff in. Okay, so if you have a full battery, this will power most of your household appliances for an entire day. So imagine if you had a power outage, this is gonna handle it. And if you have a full tank of gas as well as a full battery, this will run your stuff up to 10 days. So think of that. That is a huge, huge benefit. Hopefully you'll never need it, but think about the other instances like this, tailgating. Camping, instead of just having a 12-volt outlet just for blowing up air mattresses, think you can bring your blender, your coffee maker, cappuccino maker, charge your laptops, use your big screen. Anything you want can be powered from this Outlander. So how are we doing? Are we ready?
No.
Put the rest in. I'm gonna putting in the milk. And carrots. We got carrots in here. We're gonna put
bananas.
And bananas. Who wants to put that in?
Me.
Half for you. There you go. And half for you.
Thank you. Half for me.
And you guys can eat that one.
No.
No? Okay.
I want to.
All right. So let's check this out.
I got 2 more fruits. I want to eat.
I even tried a blow dryer. Now that takes a lot of power, especially the heat. I'm gonna turn this on here, and that's almost full throttle on this very powerful blender. And it's got no problem whatsoever. Got our cups ready. Going a little faster, there we go. Alex, it's ready. What do you think? Yep. All right. It seems odd making a smoothie inside a car, doesn't it? This is cool. Okay, cups, please. Cups. 1.
Smells good.
Smells really good. Oops.
Smells good.
It smells good.
Drop some.
Oh, we'll have to clean that up. You know, we can probably bring our vacuum cleaner in here, a small one, and plug it in here too.
He'll just wipe it off with a napkin.
Yep. So if you're in the market for a PHEV, maybe you are not ready to take the plunge into full EV yet, or maybe you just really want something affordable, attainable, that's electric, and gas, this is the one to really look at. It's pretty well the only one out there in the market. And until there are more mainstream electrified SUVs, I can see this Outlander PHEV leading the sales for many more years to come. Hey, cheers everybody. Cheers. That's gross. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more everyday reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.